So continuing on from the last video, we're going to look at now just editing project-specific information. So project-specific information applies to all the sheets in the project. So examples of this is like the project name, the client information, and the project address. So this is the information that we'll see in our title block. So anyone's ever done AutoCAD, you know you put in the information about what the drawing is. You have the title plan, so you have the title of the drawing, the project name. You might have a company logo here, and a lot of different information, revisions, descriptions, the date, all this type of stuff. So we're going to start looking at this. So there is sheet specific information. This differs from sheet to sheet within a project. So an example, this would be like the sheet name or the sheet number or the reviewer. So obviously that information would be different from sheet to sheet. So when you add a sheet to a project, the project specific information in the title block displays the appropriate information, and you can enter the sheet specific information directly onto the sheet. So whenever you change a project specific information, Revit updates all the sheets in the project with the changes. So we can have a go with this. So we'll click on the Manage tab. So I'm still in the annotated one from earlier on, but we'll go over here to Manage. And then we'll just click on Project Information. Where are we gone now? Here we go. This is already a little bit different from last time I used Revit. So Revit 2022 is a little bit different for last year's, and Revit, you might be using Revit 2023, so it might look a little bit different again. So anyway, in the Manage tab, we're going to go over here on the right hand side and click on Project Information. And you see a little dialog box will appear. So again, this is where we input the information into the drawing. So in this case, we're going to just have a look at these. There's a few different information. I'll just make this a little bit bigger so we can see everything. So in this name, we're going to do the client name. We're going to call this TU Dublin. So Technological University Dublin. Project address, sure, we can type in, so we click on the little drop down menu. Okay, there's enter addresses here. Again, this is just an example, so we'll just call it Bolton Street, Dublin 1. We click OK. Project name is going to be, actually we'll just call it Revit Tutorials, Revit Tutorial 3 we call it. And project number, what do we call it? Doesn't, in this case, we'll just call it number 3, project 3, because it's Revit Tutorial 3. Actually, we'll just, number 3, keep it simple, no point overcomplicating things. So we'll just click OK, and we should see the information change down in the title block. And we'll see here, it does what I just did. So the project now is called Revit Tutorial 3. The title is the same. The client is now TU Dublin. And then we've got a few different information. What else do we change? And have the client. There's nothing else there. There's not along the top here. Okay, so we put in a few different information like the address, but that's actually not shown in this title block, which is fine. Again, what we can do next now, we can actually also then edit the sheet specific information. So that, again, your title block may look slightly different, but whatever one you have by default, we just go with that, and you can just play around with it again. When you go to work within a company, more than likely they'll have their own title blocks ready to go. So again, you'll just use whatever they have and just update the information as you need it. So you don't need to spend too much time designing a masterpiece of a title block. But we'll just do a quick demonstration just to show how it's done at least anyway. So again, sheet specific information can be changed on each individual sheet by clicking on the text itself and inputting the new text, for example. So what we can do is if we click down here into author, so I'll just zoom in a bit so we can see better. So this is the sheet specific information. So I just double click on author. I'm going to say drawn by D. Thompson, which is me. Again, check what your company is doing. If they do all capital locks, keep it all capital. If you don't, just keep it consistent. The checker, that's gone a bit like my name. I'll just keep it simple. Drawn by DT. My initials, the checker. We'll call it DT. So obviously put in your own initials. You can leave checked by DT or AM for the lectures. Today's date. Here he is. Revision. It's our first one we're doing, so we just click on this. No, sorry, double click on that. My computer is acting up. It doesn't like being doing too much work. Okay, well, we'll just leave that. So we've edited drawn by DT, checked by DT. We have the date there. Again, the other information is all the same. And what we can do is then, what you do is you go into each one of these sheets, and again, just make sure you change the sheet specific information, the drawn by, the checked by, make sure the date is the same. That should update automatically. And we have sheet number 1, that's fine. So again, just go through each one of the sheets over here, ground floor plan, first floor plan, second floor plan, and just make sure all the information here is the same as we have here. And yeah, then we can actually, once you've done that, then we'll move on to the next one. So I'll just pause the video here for a few minutes while you go and update the sheets with all the other sheets with the same information. Just make sure all of them are the exact same as this. Once you've got them done, then we can actually move on to just editing the layout a little bit, just to kind of customize it. Okay, so once you have all the sheets edited, we'll just look at editing the title block itself again. Your company probably has, if you're working as a Revit technician, your company probably has kind of set title block. So again, maybe don't go changing one if there's company standards, but again, just for our own knowledge, what we can do is, so if we just double click on this, again, so double click, it'll bring up the title block editor. So you can see it comes up here. So what we can do is we're going to remove the information in a box above Autodesk. So again, if you zoom in, you see there's this information here. So again, it's literally just to show how we can do it. We just click on all this, just click delete. Get rid of it, a whole lot of it, and leave a nice little blank box here. Again, it's just practice to show how you can actually edit things. What we could do then is we can actually make the box around the Autodesk a little bit bigger. So see this line here, it's going to bring this one up to the top. Maybe not even all the way. Again, we'll just leave it up here. Then what we can do, we can actually drag the logo across here. So again, if you've got your own, whatever company you're going to be working for, you can actually, again, these will probably be all set in space. So then you've got your text there, you can click on that and change the web address if you like. What we can do then next is we can reduce the number of revision schedules. So you'll see here there's a little box here, a table here for this where you have a revision. So if this has been changed, you'll have revision 1 and a description and a date. And if it's changed again, it'll be revision 2 and revision 3 and revision 4 again, so on and so forth. So if you double click on this, you'll see a little blue dot. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Just clicked on too much. So click on the revision table just once, and then you can just drag the blue dot up and down just to reduce the amount of options there are here. Again, if there's only 1 or 2 revisions and you got a big load of space there, you may want to just tidy it up a little bit, but that can go up or down. So again, this does a little practice, and again, it'll keep the space for text consistent throughout, which is nice and handy. Again, keeps things easy. Okay, once we've kind of edited around a little bit, yeah, we changed it. We've moved the title block a little bit, moved this up and down. Once you're happy with what your title block looks like, what we can do then is load this into the project and close it. So it's a little option here, load into project and close. Again, it may ask you to save. We'll click yes, so just give it a rename. So do you want to replace the title block? We'll just click yes for the moment. And then, so override existing version. So there is an existing one here. Again, depending what you want to do. If you got a company one, you may not want to overwrite their one, so you may have to give an option of actually saving the separate one. Just for this one, I'm going to just click cancel myself. Okay, okay, that didn't work. So we'll just load it and save it. That's fine. Override existing version. Here we go. It just saves it that way. So, and then that's really the gist of how we actually can change the title block. Again, just go back and then make sure that you've actually changed it all occurred in all your sheets. So again, we edit the title block here. So again, just double click on each one of the sheets you've done. So the ground floor, first floor, second floor, and roof planning. Just make sure that the title block has changed for each one of them. If they have not updated, you may have to edit the type and then load the title block into place again. So, but just have a quick check. As long as you have all the consistent information across all 5 of the sheets, it should be fine. And that's really the gist of how to edit a title block. Again, Companies probably have their own standard title block, so they probably don't need to spend too much time thinking about this. You really just have to maybe edit the sheet specific information, and the rest of it should all be kind of done in-house to a certain degree. Again, don't go editing or changing your company title blocks without any permission, because again, there's probably a set style that your company might use. So in the next video, we'll look at doing call out detailing, but hopefully yours title block looks something like this. If not, just go back and watch the video again, and then once you've got it done, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, thank you.